Pastor John asked me to do this, I had no idea what I would speak about or anything. Actually, we've been so busy at work that it's just hard to even find time to study anymore. But this is what the Lord put on me this morning, and it's simply this question: whose report are you going to believe? So, familiar text. It's from Numbers chapter 13, verses 25 through 33. And then they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back the word to them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told him and said, "We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea along the banks of the Jordan." Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw the giants, the descendants of Anak, come from the giants, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight." The question this morning is, whose report are you going to believe? Are we trusting in the promise of God? Are we listening to the Father? Or we are listening to the father of lies whisper in our ears? The devil is constantly trying to trip us up in our walk with God. Now, why do we fall into the trap of believing that evil report? A lot of times it's because we as men only see the physical. We see what's right in front of our eyes, and it's only natural for us to trust in what we can see. We don't look beyond that and step out in our faith sometimes. We've all been given that measure of faith. We just don't use it sometimes. Now, I'm just going to give you a little bit of where I've been in my 11 years since my cancer diagnosis. Now, 11 years ago, I could have let that defeat me. A lot of that day is a blur to me because I was under so much anesthesia. I don't remember a lot of anything. But the one thing I do remember is my family gathering together to pray for me at the hospital. And I can't say or tell you that my faith was not tested, because it was. You know, when you wake up out of anesthesia after they do a colonoscopy and they give you got cancer. Your mind goes a lot of places, and it ain't good places. But in Proverbs 3 and 5, it tells us to trust the Lord with all our hearts and lean not unto our own understanding. Now, I didn't understand why at the age of 37 I had cancer. But I had cancer. But I didn't let the devil take that and destroy me. Because he started in pretty quick. I thought, why me? But my trust in the Lord won the day. I'm going to brag on my wife just a little bit. Because though I was weak and really down that day, she stayed strong. And just watching how she reacted to all the stuff going on, it helped me a lot. Of course, I wouldn't even have been there had she not pushed me to go. Because doctors and me don't get along. But just like Caleb gave the Israelites a good report and said, hey, let's go take this. God was a conqueror that day for me. Now, I've been cancer-free for 11 years. Not going to tell you that all those days have been great days, but I'm cancer-free. In the days following that surgery, I put my trust in the Lord that we were going to get through it. And that's the only way that I made it through it. We have to put our trust in God's promise for us. It's just simple as that. That's the report that we need to believe. That no matter what's coming in our lives, no matter what we've been through, if we step out in faith and trust the Lord, He's going to conquer that for you. It's not about what I can do or what you can do. It's about what God can do. And we serve an awesome God. Now, the Israelites ended up believing that bad report, and they wandered around for a little more. And it took them a while to get into the promised land that God had already promised to them if they just listened to Caleb. He was going to fight that battle for them. And that's the same thing for us. He's going to fight our battles. So His report can only be good because He is only good. He loved us so much that He died for us. Now, how many people would do that? Very few. God loved the world so much that He gave His only Son, that we could have someone to fight our battles for us. God is the answer for whatever's going on. It don't matter what it is. If you sit around and believe the liar, you're gonna constantly be in the doldrums, and you're gonna walk through this life down all the time, because you're gonna see it the way man sees it, that there's no way, there's not a way. With every year that I get past my cancer diagnosis, I praise God. I give thanks to God because He brought me through that. And that's anything. Everybody should be given praise and thanks for everything that the Lord has brought them through. But essentially, that's what it boils down to this morning. Whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to believe what's been whispered in your ear by the devil, or are you going to believe what God told you? Yes. And that's all. That's really what it comes down to. And I know it's simple and it's short, but that's what God told me to say, and that's where I'm at. Brother John.